Good morning. Welcome to Walking Boxing. It is Thursday, February the 13th, 2025. And already having dramas with Neil this morning because I've got to jump in the car and get on the road this morning. It's always a bit of a shorter walk, and especially because it's going to be very, very hot today. So I've gone a different little route, a short route, and I think he's on to me because he's getting very, very stubborn. He wants to go his normal way, and he's giving me that side eye that bulldogs tend to give you. If you've got a bulldog, you know what I mean. So yesterday, some interesting news. Michael Zerafa apparently is on standby for the Thurman fight. Now, this opens all sorts of doors as far as queries goes, doesn't it? Because we're still a month out, and we're already talking about switcheroos going on. So if you don't know, this is the story. Apparently, No Limit have told Michael Zerafa, or asked him for starters, about being on standby to fight Thurman if Brock Jarvis pulls out. Now, if you don't know, Jeff Fennick and Brock Jarvis have had their issues lately. I spoke about this the other day, and apparently they're still not reconciled. Now, I did see on social media I think there was something released by one of the sites, might have been Main Event or one of those on their site, that there was something about them in the ring. Jeff had the body protector on and Brock was hitting that hard that he almost thought he was going to break his chest bone or something like that anyway. And people looked at that as, oh, well, they're back together. How good is that? But what they didn't know is that article was probably put out a week or two before the news of their split came. So it was a little bit misconstrued that way. But from all accounts, they haven't reconciled yet. You just got to wonder how training is going. There hasn't been anything posted online, as far as I know, with them training together. Brock's put a few things up by him, training by himself, but nothing actually together. So you would get the feeling, as they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if this is, I don't even know how it's been leaked, by the way, unless Michael Zerafa has been the one that has actually leaked it out. He was the one that was interviewed about it or asked for a comment. Been nothing from No Limit or anyone from that party. It's definitely nothing from Brock Jarvis either. Of course, he's not going to say anything, but it's as I said, like, if this has been put out a month before the fight, you get the feeling that it's most likely going to happen. And I think we've all had doubts once the Jeff Fennick news hit that there could be possibilities that Brock might pull out. But on the other hand, this is what a couple of weeks ago, so it would have been 6 weeks. Would have been plenty of time for Brock to get another trainer just to help him out. Now, what trainer that might be is up for debate, because it's a tough ask for Brock Jarvis. Just forgive me if there's a little bit of wind coming through the microphone at the moment as well. But so the question is, if it does happen, what then? I for one think it's probably a more appealing fight, and Michael Zerafa just could find himself in those classic right place at the right time situations, because if he can land this fight, it's a massive opportunity for him, and the doors that it could open is substantial. So they did interview, as I said, Michael Zerafa, or asked him for comments, whatever it might be. And I just thought to myself, Michael, this is a great way for you to maybe build some momentum with the Aussie boxing public, maybe start stirring up some buzz. And as he always seems to do, in my opinion, he blew it. Now, the risk of getting a phone call or a text message or something from Michael, who tends to get really cut up if anyone ever says anything derogatory about him. This is not derogatory, by the way. I'm just stating my opinion, but he does tend to get a bit precious if someone doesn't talk favourably about him. But that's okay. We've all been through it. Happens to everyone. But what he should have said, in my opinion, is, yep, I'm in training for the fight. If it does happen, I would feel for Brock, but happily to step in. This could open all sorts of doors for me, and I'm really keen, if it does happen, to have a crack. Now, this is what he said. I'm just going to have to change hands here because Neil is going the wrong way. Come here, man. All right, it's on the Herald Sun website. I put this on our Instagram last night, and it hasn't been a lot spoken about it. So let's have a look. Come on, you can load anytime you want now. I did have this ready to go. It's always the way. All right, it's not coming up at the moment. Hang on, let's go again. Jesus, you gotta love the internet, don't you? All right, well, looks like it's not going to... Oh, no, hang on. We might be lucky here. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm just going to quote him here, and then I'll have my say. All right. So, first of all, he says, I don't know what the situation is with Brock, but if he's not able to fight, I'm happy to step in and save the card. Good stuff. That's really good first up comment from Michael Zerafa. I've been approached to see if I would be on standby if Brock pulls out. It's a great come for me either way. Yes, it is. It's exciting. I'm ready to fight anyone. I'm in a fight camp myself. Of course, he's on the undercard. All right, I'm already on this card as the co-main, so if there's a change of circumstances, I'll step up and put on a great fight against Thurman and get the win. All right, well, so far, so good. Then it starts. I'm ready to take Thurman out once and for all. I'll put the nails in his coffin. So this is the start of it. Then this starts. I'll slap that receding hairline off Thurman's head. Okay. He continues a little bit later on. To be honest, Thurman is better off facing Brock because I would hurt him a lot more than Brock would. You better hope that Brock turns up that night. All respect to Brock, he's a lightweight coming up, and Thurman was a welterweight, so he's playing with the big boys now at middleweight. All right, so Zerafa is a big boy at middleweight. All right, I'll walk around at 80 plus kilos, so you better hope Brock rocks up, because if I'm the fill-in, Thurman will be in for a long night and a very painful night. Then it would be on to, of course, Tim Tszyu. You can't interview Michael without a comment about Tim. I would be more than happy to end Tim's career. This is the kicker for me. To be honest, I don't need Tim Tszyu. He has no belts. I'm still in the world rankings, and I want to have a crack at another world title. I've been pushing it. I've said it's the fight Australia wants to see. We're both signed to No Limit, so the ball is in their court. All right, so as I said, just come on, man. We've got to keep moving. It's just going around in circles here. Look, he's right about a lot of it, but did he really have to do the personal stuff with Keith Thurman? It was a great way for him to, as I said, endear himself and maybe build up the fight. And this is probably the only way he knows how to do it. And that's fine. That's fine. But the comment there, I mean, does he really need to say, what did he say? He's going to slap the receding hairline off Thurman's head. That's probably something you say maybe if you do actually get the fight and you just got to get the build-up going. He's on the undercard at this stage of Thurman's fight with Brock. So I don't understand it. I don't get it. But the kicker for me there, apart from being very, very disrespectful to a very well-renowned fighter, without any cause, by the way, they're not even fighting. And to sledge Keith Thurman like that, yeah, not a great way to start. But what he said about Tim Tszyu is probably the most amusing thing to me. Now, he's right. Tim has got no belt. But let me be the one to maybe say that you do need Tim Tszyu, because without Tim Tszyu, unfortunately, Michael, well, he's nowhere. He's nowhere. I mean, it's great that he's fighting this Basir. Might give him an opportunity. If he does fight Thurman, hey, even better. That's great for him. But to say that you don't need Tim, you're world ranked, and you might get another opportunity, or you're looking for an opportunity, that's again awesome. The problem is with that, the only sanctioning body that Michael is ranked with is the WBA at number 8, not ranked with any other organisations. And of course, who holds that belt? Oleksandr Lara. And we all know how that fight happened. And Oleksandr Lara would probably not even remember Michael's name now, let alone, you know, when they fought back a year ago. So I sort of get it with Michael. I just thought this was a great opportunity for him to really just embrace the possibility of getting that big fight. And this is just, if it does happen, it is just forward into his lap. He's on an undercard fight on a big show. a big opponent, and he could get the ultimate opportunity with Keith Thurman. If he beats Keith Thurman, then that Tim Tszyu fight might happen. But I'll just repeat, without that Tim Tszyu fight, I just don't know where Michael's career is. I have no idea. Sort of just in no man's land at the moment. Even a win over Basir A is not really going to do him a lot of good, in my opinion. But, however, I am going to say I really hope the fight comes off with Keith Thurman. Now, I feel for Brock if that does happen, I really do. But really, when you look in the reality of it, you know, regardless of Michael's recent history, it should have been Michael in the ring with Thurman in the first place anyway, if you ask me. But what I'm rapt about, if it does happen, again, I feel for Brock, is that Michael Zerafa is going to get that opportunity. And when I say that opportunity, I'm talking the opportunity to show us what you got, Michael. We always hear about the losses have been in the big fights, and they've all been overseas, and I've always, you know, I'm capable of this and capable of that. You're about to maybe get a massive fight in Australia. Main event, pay-per-view, it's all about you, buddy. You are about to get maybe that mega fight you're chasing that could catapult you either, I'm not going to say into a world title fight, but definitely a fight with Tim. I want to see what you got. I want to see what Michael Zerafa has got as the A side. It's in Australia, remember, so we'll be sort of looked at as the A side, I suppose. But he could possibly have that Keith Thurman fight right in front of him, and all the talk about I'm capable of this, I'm capable of that. I've tried to step up in the past, it hasn't worked. You're going to have home court advantage. A massive fight here in Australia as the man on the top of the pay-per-view. I want to see whether all this talk about I can do this and I can do that and I'd whip Tim Tszyu and, you know, just those fights I lost were overseas, it was hard, they were great fighters, all the rest of it. You're about to go in the ring maybe with a great fighter and you are the A side. Not so much as far as standing in the boxing world, but it's in Australia, so he will be the A side. So I want to see what he's got. I want to see what he's got, and that's why I hope, again, feel for Brock, but I hope this fight happens. I really do, because I want to, for once and for all, and again, I've been a critic of Michael, which he's reminded me about, and that's fine. Nothing personal. I'm just purely about the boxing side of things, nothing personal at all. But I want to see if he gets his fight, whether Michael Zerafa is as good as he says he is, and whether he deserves that fight with Tim. Let's see. What are your thoughts? It's very controversial, I know, but let's see what happens. All right, some other boxing news. What have we got at the moment? What did I see? Yes, the Riyadh card, the Canelo Williams Skull card. Looks like there's going to be a couple of super middleweight fights on the undercard. Actually, one will be a middleweight fight featuring Oleksandr Lara as one of them. He's going to be fighting, by the looks of things, it's the Cuban. Now, I haven't seen much of him. Is it Ioannis or Yoanli or something? Hernandez, Cuban. 7-0, 7 knockouts. Now, I don't know after 7 fights what he's doing in a world title fight, but looks like, yeah, he can fight. I've seen some brief clips of him on YouTube. There's not a lot of him. And as I said, I don't know much about him, but apparently he's going to be fighting Oleksandr Lara, and the other fight on that card is Jaime Munguia in the rematch with Bruno Kasach. I think is that how you pronounce it? Whatever it is, the guy that knocked him out in the previous fight. So that, look, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing for Jaime Munguia. Maybe he should have looked at maybe a tune-up fight before taking, what's his name, Karachi, I think that was his name. I should have written it down. Maybe it's a good thing to take him on again so soon, but on the other hand, maybe it's a bad thing to take him on straight away. I don't know. But that will be on the undercard as well. So, yeah, look, it's probably not the stellar matchups I was expecting for Canelo's first foray into Saudi Arabia, but hey, I'll take those fights for sure. So far, maybe they're just the tip of the iceberg, and there's another 2 or 3 world title fights to come. We'll see. But that's, yeah, May 3rd in Riyadh. The other fight that's been announced, Sebastian Fundora, wait for it, Shordale Booker. Yes, that guy, everyone, the household name of Shordale Booker. I don't know how this guy's gone from Crawford to Spence to Shordale Booker and hasn't fought in a year. Just ridiculous management of Sebastian Fundora. So he's going to headline that fight in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay. Now, I think on the undercard, Jose Ramos Jr. was on that undercard. So I don't mind him. Oh, who was the other one that was on there? There was someone else that was not too bad either. But yeah, that's where Sebastian Fundora is at. Shordale Booker. I've watched a bit of him again on YouTube. I think I might have seen him on an undercard somewhere. But look, he's capable, but shouldn't be anywhere near a world title fight, just in my opinion. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's just a tune-up for bigger things to come. But Sebastian Fundora, I don't care sort of who he fights. They're always in with a chance against Sebastian Fundora. He's just one of those fighters, you're always in with a chance. He can be hit, he can be hurt, he can be knocked out. Yes, he's big, he's awkward, obviously tall and rangy, everything like that. But he's just one of those fighters who I think just purely gets where he is just purely because of his physical attributes, not necessarily because of his style. And Brian Mendoza showed that if you get inside, you can get the job done. And of course, he had the big win over Tim, and that's great. But I just think he's probably the most vulnerable, or one of the most vulnerable world champions out there at the moment. And don't be surprised if Shordale Booker upsets him. But by rights, Sebastian Fundora should win and set up some maybe bigger fights down the track. And he's going to need it. Taking this fight now, and there's so many other really good 154-pounders out there, yeah, I just don't think it's great management. But hopefully they have a plan down the track. Now, Teofimo Lopez looking to fight at The Rock, Alcatraz. I think they're looking at June or July. Of course, it's in San Francisco, Alcatraz. I don't know how this is going to work. I've been to Alcatraz a couple of times. First of all, the boats, I think you can only ferry 700 people at a time out there. So if you get a crowd of about 7,000 or 8,000, it's going to take a lot of trips, unless they ferry or rent a big sort of boat. But whether they're allowed to in the harbour there, I don't know. But yeah, it's that's probably the first hurdle to jump over, is getting everyone out there safely and on time, and then you've got to get them out of there, which is probably even harder after the fight. You're going to have 7,000 or 8,000 people all looking to get off the island, because that's what it's on. It's an island, Alcatraz Island, and it's going to be a long wait. A long wait, unless they have about 50 boats lined up at the one time. But still, that it will be anarchy out on the harbour at that time of night. So, and then, for just in my opinion, I'm not quite sure there's the room to put it. Again, it's an island, so there's not a lot of room outside the building itself. There is the yard, of course, where the prisoners used to be, but it's not that big. Maybe they only want 3,000 or 4,000 people there they can squeeze in there. Maybe that's all they're looking for, but it's not a big place at all, and it's very tight. Not sure how they go with change rooms and broadcast equipment, all that sort of stuff. It's going to be tough, but I'm sure they've done their due diligence, they've done their homework, so they'll make it work. And Turki Al Sheikh did say that he's looking to do fights in obscure places. So obscure places, unique places is probably more the word. So I love the theory of it, of having a fight night on Alcatraz Island. There you go, buddy. But logistics of it, I remain to be convinced. Let's see, let's hope. Maybe we'll have fights at the Grand Canyon and Niagara Falls and wherever else they might decide to put them. But good in theory, and again, it's probably another thing for Turki Al Sheikh, doing great things as far as thinking outside the box. So let's see, I'm just trying to shut this gate here. And one last thing, Oleksandr Usyk has put a line through going back to cruiserweight. He's officially said no. He's got 2 fights to go. He'll probably fight the winner of Dubois and Parker, and then probably have one fight in the air after that. But he said he has ruled out a move back down to cruiserweight, which now makes, in my opinion, Jai Pataya, David Benavides, the fight at cruiserweight. Let's hope that happens in the next sort of year or two. It will be awesome. But he's strictly looking at retirement at the moment, is Oleksandr Usyk, and who can blame him? What a great champion he's been. So apparently he wants the winner of Dubois Parker, and then just one fight after that, and then he's out. He wants to go back home to Ukraine and live a quiet life and enjoy it with his family, and who could blame him? So good luck to Oleksandr Usyk. All right, guys, well, that is going to do it for today. Hope you have a great Thursday, and we'll catch you tomorrow.